that feeling on a Wednesday. Hump day. We ain't gonna waste too much time. We don't wait for people to come in. Pause. Pause and leaning. I'm just playing. Whoever's here, let's get it. Yes. Yes, 2 times. I know the vibes. She like, ooh la la. We go, ooh la la. She like, ooh la la. They go, ooh la la. On a Wednesday. Best day. Blessed day. Looking for M's like I lost a friend. Hop up out the bed like where's the bread? What it do, people? You're now tuned in. Popovich. Popovich TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic. That feeling back up in here. One more again. So if it's your first time, then the question is, where you been? Because over here on my side, we like to deal with sports, hip-hop, entertainment, interviews sometimes, Popovisms 101, and of course, motivation. So before you jump off the page and giddy to the left, I'm going to need you to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell, so when I upload the videos, you get alerted. You get alerted when I upload the videos, and if it's not your first time and you've been rocking with the channel, good luck. But you know how I do. You know how I plainly start the show. Tony, there was no other way. We ain't in the end game now. And we is in the end game, people. We ain't in the end game because it's Wednesday, it's hump day. And we got some hump day advice for you motherfuckers. But before we get to the show, we hopefully got a good show for y'all today. We first want to give our condolences and respects to D'Angelo family. Obviously the singer D'Angelo, right? Just passed yesterday or the day before yesterday. I don't really know when they announced it. I know I started seeing it on my timeline. Very, very young. My age bracket, like my era. You know what I'm saying? 51, pancreatic cancer. What I read, for those that don't know or had to look up like myself what that was, that's pretty much in the pancreas where the cells start growing rapidly and just too much, where it forms a tumor and it stops the digestive system from doing what it's supposed to do. It's in the digestive department, right? And they say it's hard to detect in the early stages. So rest in peace to him. A fine singer, right? Even at one point in time in his career was dubbed the 75th, out of 200 best singers of all time. Ushered in a whole new era, if you will, of R&B, switching it to neo soul, with his debut album in 1995, and I was locked up in 95. You know what I'm saying? At least the later, the beginning to the later part of that year. I think I came on in November after my grandfather passed, and he had songs like Cruising, which is Smokey Robinson remake. Love You Mommy for playing all of the oldies. So when it came out, it was familiar, but it still sounded fly because everybody can, redo other people's songs or redo movies and try to start fucking with classics. Then you look with the side eye like, it don't really live up to the hype or it didn't stand up to the original. Rarely you find songs or things that's considered masterpieces done over and they be like, it's better. You know what I'm saying? But he definitely did, it super justice. He had, Lady on there, You're My Lady. I like the song, but I like the remix better with AZ, Brown Sugar Babe and etc. And, for a long time was a big sex symbol, right? Even years later when he came out with the How Does It Feel video, he was butt ass, or it appeared to be butt ass, and all the ladies was going crazy. Side note, this is my show, right? And we live on YouTube and we live on Instagram. So if you see me looking up and down, that's what I'm doing, right? Shout out to everybody tuning in. We're not going to be long. But side note, this is my show. When you attractive, handsome, you got personality, or you got, that feeling, that charisma, rather, that thing, you know what I'm saying? Women are overlooked shit that's considered creepy for one individual as opposed to another. And, for a long time, they say he struggled with being in the spotlight, with being the sex symbol, turned towards, abuse and shit like that, doing things of that nature. We all got battles to fight, monkeys on our back that we be trying to get off, and 52 block, and nobody gets through life unscathed. But strictly as an artist, some of the dopest songs, obviously he was romantically linked to Angie Stone, rest in peace, you know what I mean? Black brother, I love you. Like we love Angie Stone, we rock with her music. She had got songs like that. That's one of my favorite songs by her. You know what I mean? But they was romantically linked. A lot of people was like, what he doing with her? She ain't really, for some, not to me. I think she's beautiful. And beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But, if you want to bring it to colorism, or, what's the aesthetics of what we find pleasing and what we find to be average at best, right? Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. A lot of people was like, he could have did better than her as far as looks wise. It didn't last long. He never got married. He never had no kids to my knowledge. But he also did songs, Everything is Everything with Lauryn Hill on her album, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. So he got some classics under his belt. And musically wise, again, like I said, definitely unmatched in a lot of areas. South Beach Ruber, what's the word? But at 51, this is my birthday month. Scorpios, we the best. Shout out to anybody who celebrating the birthday. I know Libras, y'all just was kicking it off and rocking and rolling. And we just was out with my niece celebrating her birthday at Skino's or Skinio, whatever you call that restaurant. They're real pricey. So shout outs to the Libras celebrating their birthday. They almost out the door, and Scorpions soon come. We the best, right? Being funny, but I'm not. 51 is hella young, and that's why I often I be playing, but I don't. And when I mean I be playing, when I quote KRS-One, do you ever think about when you out of here? Your record deal, your video, out of here. Your Mercedes Benz and your Range Rover and all that shit that you hold value to, that shit is out of here. You know what I mean? Your days as a sex symbol R&B singer. What's the word? You know what I mean? Happy Wednesday. Whatever you got going on in your life. So on that part, I be playing. When I be like, do you ever think about when you out of here? What I don't be playing with is the reality of that is, do you really think about for when you gonna go? Is your life insurance good? Is your medical proxy good? Like for me, y'all know if you watch the channel, I just was in a bad accident, right? And if I couldn't talk or my brain wasn't working and somebody had to make decisions on me, could they do that? If you got a wife, you got a husband, is it your mom's, is it your father, is it your sister, who's your emergency contact? Do you have things set in place as an adult for when you're going to check out? Because we all knew when we was going to check out, all our affairs will be in order, right? And we off this topic, rest in peace again, D'Angelo, condolences to his family, young for a lot of his career. I was locked up, especially in his first album when everybody was on him. But, make sure your affairs are in order, because, if we all knew the place and time when we was going to die, then we would put everything would be in order for you. But the most main thing that needs to be in order is your relationship with God. And even though I'm religious and I pray, I'm not I'm not perfect and I'm not, the best. I got shit with me too. But I do at least try to say that you know, just to try to help you out. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Rest in peace, D'Angelo. You know, age, your profession, your knowledge, you know, how much you obtained in life, your status. None of that really matters once the Most High say, get over here, Scorpion, and now you got to come back. It could be breast cancer, hit by a bus, shot by a stray bullet, you know, a sickness could, you know, tear you up, and you'll be out of here, and people will be mourning you. Just try to do right, and keep your head up high. Live to the fullest while you're here, because you never know when you're going to go. Rest in peace, D'Angelo. Let's talk about this shit, though, real quick. Let's talk about Stephen A. You know what I mean? Stephen A. Smith and Stephen A. Malika Andrews. That shit always crack me up. You know, when I, you know, say his name, or just for some reason, when Ime Doko was accused of doing, as a kid I did. You know, no offense. I know wrestling is fake, just like football is fake. It's scripted. But at one point in time, and I'm old school. You know, I'm Generation X, so wrestling for me, real quick, before we get to Stephen A. and versus Jasmine Crockett and all the other people that's on his back right now. He did clap back. That's what we're going to talk about. But my era of wrestling is Hulk Hogan, rest in peace, right? He just passed. Coco Beware, you know what I'm saying? Andre the Giant, Macho Man, Randy Savage, Mr. Perfect. These names just coming off the top, you know what I mean? This is my era, you know what I mean? Who else? Coco Beware. Did I say Coco Beware? That's my era of wrestling. Even though I'm familiar with The Rock and shut up, bitch. You know what I mean? And that meme always be spinning with The Rock, obviously, John Cena, etc. But to say like I watch and I'm a big fan, nah, not no more as you know, as I got older. Not so much so. Anything I should know about this? Real quick, this is a side note. This is my show. We don't really have no set format. For the person that just asked on YouTube, and we live on Instagram, and we live on YouTube about wrestling. I did see something that said, who's the owner of wrestling? Who's want to say something McMahon or Jay McMahon or something like that. I know it's something McMahon. Allegedly, maybe kind of sort of, we're gonna say that. You know, did a lot of backdoorism with a lot of the people that was in wrestling and other like people, little sexual favors, men and women. Especially straight men. When I seen that, it was like, this shit sound crazy. But is it past the scope of the imagination? Absolutely not, because we know in Hollywood and entertainment, people that want to thrive and do well and become the best around, and nothing's ever gonna keep you down. Like, you want to be the best around. Sometimes you gotta, you know, scratch somebody back in order to get that. You know what I mean? Not saying no, and I don't be wanting to cash no accusations out there, but that's like the only last thing that I seen recently spinning about wrestling. Anyway, now we in the end game. Back to this Stephen A, right? And Stephen A, we're not here to accuse no women. Malika Andrews, right? She got the raise. Molly didn't. Molly, do you ever think about when you out of here, your days of being a moderator on First Take, you out of here? Anyway, Malika Andrews allegedly got the bag and she didn't. But I remember when that was spinning and Ime Doko was accused of busting down, you know, one of the workers or even the, you know, the boss's wife or some shit like that. And Malika Andrews is on there with Stephen A. Smith, if you don't know what I'm talking about. And Stephen A. was like, well, we need to know who the women is and woo, 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 and And when Malika Andrews, when she like, and Stephen A., we not here to accuse no woman. So what we talking about now? Y'all know what we talking about. We talking about Stephen A. Smith been spinning in the clip recently. He had Willie D get at him. He had Tamika Mallory get at him. He had D.L. Hughley get at him. He had a lot of people get at him. And, you know, like Jim Jones, who is the topic again tonight, right? He's always spinning in the clip, so he's what they call, what's the saying? Low-hanging fruit. So he's easy to get at, right? He's the guy that you love to hate on some Ice Cube shit. Hate him, love him. He's the nigga that everybody loves to hate. You either rock with him or you don't, and even when you rock with him, you still don't really fuck with him. So anyway, he had came out with some critiquing words against Jasmine Crockett. She is in the Senate out there, out in Texas. You know what I mean? She on Congress, so she in the Senate, one of them, right? Anyway, she she be going at Trump, which I'm not mad. You know, I'm not a. If you watch the channel, then you know. If you're new to the channel, then I gotta inform you. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. So you're never gonna hear me get up here and go hard for one or the other. And it's not like I can't say anything bad about either party because I don't give a fuck. I have no party. If anything, I will be considered an independent, like Stephen A. is now claiming he's an independent, even though he is on the record of saying that, he vote Democrat for, the majority of his voting, right? So anyway, she be going at Trump, he's a piece of shit. She said some other shit about the senator or another House Speaker, something like that. Hot Wheels, the person was in the wheelchair. Real disparaging things, and we seen her in the video with they not like us, and they with her two little girls in the background, her little background dancers, if you will. And basically what he was saying, in my estimation, initially, is she's a very intelligent woman, which I believe she is. She's a lawyer. She passed the bar, right? We raised the bar. You know what I mean? I raised the bar, I raised the stakes. I'm on go, y'all pump your brakes. Somebody let them know I play for takes. Keep it so real, y'all keep it fake. Shout out to my nigga Great Fire. I raised the bar. So we know that she passed the bar, and we know that she's a lawyer. She's Claire Huxtable, right? I'm being funny, but I'm not. So she is smart. She's smart, she's articulate, she's better than what she's displaying. Plus, you're not going to get nothing done. The way you going, you're not going to get nothing done with somebody who thrives off Kiss the Ring. Enough. They await you on some Mona Lisa shit. On some Slick Rick the Ruler. And MC Ricky D doing a smash hit Mona Lisa. Like the picture? Well, in the beginning, you kissed the ring. You bow down and you kiss the ring. That's the type of shit that he on. And so Stephen A is like, well, if he on that type of shit, and you the minority, literally, right? And you got 700,000 or something like that, constituents or people you trying to look out for, maybe it'd be a little better if you use honey to get the beer rather than vinegar. We know bears like honey, right? And we know bees create honey. When you want to get something, there's more than one way to skin a cat. So basically, your approach, I don't really much care for, and I don't either. Real quick side note, this is my show. We don't really have no set format or no set time for no particular topic. We go, we say our spill, and then we keep it moving. But me personally, right? First, I give you a personal story. One of my exes, right? When I met them, they was on some high finger varsity type shit, right? And they came across as they was one way, real ritzy, real bourgeois, and I loved it. Like totally fell in love, fell over hills, like, oh, I like this type of vibe, right? Come to find out that wasn't really the case. Now, could that have been the case? Meaning like we all have different traits and we can wear different hats at different times, right? So you may be this person at this time, this person at this time, but you are just you. But when I start seeing, I'll use quote unquote ratchetness, ghetto-ness, and it was like, you know what I mean? Well, what Jigga said, mom dropping you back off, hit a U-turn. Jigga, why you do that for? Front of the club, like, you know what I mean? He said, thug nigga till the end, tell a friend, bitch. Won't change for no paper, plus I've been rich, but I think the bars soon me cruising uptown with this bruisey bra. She said, Jigga, man, you rich. Take the do-rag off. Hit a U-turn. Mom dropping you back off. In front of the club, Jigga, why you do that for? Thug nigga till the end, tell a friend, bitch. Won't change for no paper, plus I've been rich. Like, I'm not changing for no paper. 88 been crushing them, women been fucking them, women still hunking them, huh? See, I live for the love of the streets, rap to the... Nah, I ain't want to go on like that, but I know the lyrics. And it's like, when I seen the ratchetness, the ghetto-ness, or the shit that I didn't like this not who you present it as. So now that I'm seeing something else, it's a turnoff now. And my first, back to Jasmine now, right? Jasmine Guy was fly, Mariah Carey, kind of scary. The first interview I've seen of her, now whether this was her or not, she was, had her hair nice, was speaking well, had the glasses on, was speaking real proper like, speaking real mature, speaking real educated, and she is educated. But then fast forward, now it's nigga this, nigga that, nigga this, nigga that. They not like us, and a lot of cursing, a lot of ratchetness, and that becomes who you are in the public eye, whether that's you or not. Perception becomes reality. So while Stephen A is like, yo, you don't got to go that route. You can still try to get something done for the people that you're representing, dealing with somebody like Trump. He didn't big up Trump. He didn't side with the Republicans or any of that. And I didn't think that he said nothing wrong. And when I first seen the post, I seen it on Tamika Mallory page. It was like, black brothers be doing a lot of good comment. I'm paraphrasing, right? Because I don't really give a fuck when it comes to boycotting or canceling people, cancel culture. I don't care in this sense. Not saying I don't care about the issues. I don't care about what's really plaguing us as a black community. And but you're black, right? Because I do care. My job cares. You know what I mean? The place that I work at. Even before I started working where I work at now, I've been on this channel with my little voice, with my little platform. I've been pushing the right word forward, giving my opinions, my thoughts, and trying to tell young people, young boys and girls, Hov did that. So hopefully you wouldn't have to go through that. Like, I already walked the path that you're walking. Your future's my past. I've been there before. So do it this way. If you listen, you listen. If you don't, you don't. You'll find out, on your own. And a hard head makes a soft ass. And the quote, Ghost and Ray from the Purple Tape. And you're going to come out in your own way. But with that being said, I do care about the issues. But I know that people could have selective outrage. They pick and choose who they ride with, who they don't fuck with, and who they ride with and who they fuck with. So when I see it on the page, everybody like, yeah, he's a clown, he's a Rufus, he's this, he's that. And again, Stephen A, he's been around for so long now. You the hero until you become the victim. Until you become the villain, right? The Dark Knight, you live so long, or you've been through enough shit with the public that we was rooting for you, we was rocking with you, but now you're the villain now. So we hate you now. And you the nigga that we love to hate. Ice Cube again, right? So I'm like, let me go see what he said for myself. And I watched his spill. But he came back out like, yo, Roland Martin and all these other people that say I'm a sellout and I'm this and I'm that. He like, I'm gonna watch what I say, because some of these people are considered friends. And sometimes with friends, how people be displaying, you say, who the fuck need enemies, right? He like, I said nothing wrong. He doubled down on what he was saying. Like, yo, she is a little ratchet. Doesn't look, anybody could show up and fling some curse words and, say you a supremacist and you this and you that and you this. But can you get the job done? And I'll work. I get the job done. I'll work. I get the job done. Like some scoop and scrap, some Big Daddy Kane shit. I get the job done. Can you get the job done? Can you make a deal? Can you work with people that you don't necessarily like, who you may have a disdain for? Can you still shake hands, look eye to eye, man to man, woman to man, or however it goes, and get the job done and get things for the people that you're representing? Because you become a caricature of yourself and who you really are. And again, on a personal note, right, I said, one of the people I was dealing with, how they presented themselves, and what they end up being. They end up being a mixture of both. But again, you came clean cut. And anybody that's a representative, you in the public eye, you a police officer, you a judge, you a lawyer, you represent the people, the public, you a councilman, a cityman. This is just my personal opinion. It's a tight rope that you have to walk. Master Move, what's the word? It's a tight rope that you have to walk. I don't want people that say they representing me, right? As the public, the general public, on some ratchet shit. Now I get it, people may be like, well, she relatable, she one of us, she around the way girl, she standing at the bus stop sucking on a lighty pie. I get it. It's cool for the option, like, yeah, we got one of us in. That's why Barack Obama was mad cool, right? He did everything that was mad. He was the coolest president that we ever had, right? And he probably was the coolest president. But just because you're black, just because got a little ghetto-ness and you ratchetness so you could flip the bird, say fuck you, however, I don't want people like that represent me. I'd rather you be ghetto or come from the ghetto like Ghost, right? Because Ghost was he was a hood nigga. He was just like Tommy. Far as same optics, same name, one is black, one is white. They ran under the same individual, taught them both the same game. But Ghost more calculated, more business, more entrepreneur, more chic, shrewd. Wasn't really show you the rage, but still to kill you, just like Tommy. I'd rather you be that version, even if you're from the hood. Show me the Lorenzo Tate version, as opposed to the Tommy version. I don't want to see you shoot people randomly and doing all that. I'd rather you, do it behind the bushes. Now you may say, well, politics is, this is what it is. It's the game that they play. And I'll say a lot of people, and I think just because she's black and she a woman, he critiqued her. He got a big platform. She's real big now on social media. In fact, she's probably bigger on social media, of the person that people think she is or she's representing of herself than she actually really is getting the job done. That's just me personally. But I never really seen too many people besides Kamala Harris that people was going so hard for a fucking politician. Because that's all she is, guys. She's just a politician. They lie, they cheat, they get over, they do fuck shit behind the back. They take offers, they take money, they take bribes. They do foul, underhand shit. And I'm not saying that she's done that because I haven't seen nothing come out. But this is the game. So to hear so many people in the uproar, and to me, be quite frankly, fake outrage. You even had, some chick, I don't know her name, she had the little flower on her head looking like a flower mamacita, right? Because she's not a bad-looking woman. She wasn't a bad-looking woman. But she like the little dick energy, right? You self-hatred and this and that. It's like, damn, anytime I disagree with a black woman that may have a prominent position, I got to have little dick energy. I got to self-hate myself. I got to not like hate my moms, hate my sister. What makes you ashamed of being black? Like, where does this come from? And, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. We got to bring him into the equation, right? Second time we mentioned him, Big Cav on the show, right? And that's just to troll and get some people mad that don't like him, that hating him, right? For whatever reason. But it's not till he pointed this out that I really recognize that this is what a lot of women do. And I'll give the analogy like I give the analogy before. Is when you shopping for a car, whether new or used. Let's say you're shopping for the X5, X6, right? BMW, or a Toyota, right? Corolla. People have the car. Obviously, you see it on the road, but you don't realize how much people have the car till you actually buy the car. I'm live right now. What up?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna tune in.
All right. You don't realize how much people have the car till you pull off the lot with it. Same analogy with the Kevin Samuels when he like, you can't make this shit up, and most women do, not all. Can't put them all in the same basket and fry them up because he really was cooking them. Shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right, aka quote unquote what he dubbed sign language. And until he laid that out, I got called little dick before, and you a bum ass nigga, you this, you that after the breakup, during the argument. Same thing on the Kendrick Lamar song on Mr. Cry Together on Mr. Morale album with him and Paige Taylor. Little dick ass nigga that's trying to go big, And that's the go-to for women. She's showing off her ass, that's a go-to. He checking on the status. That's a go-to. This is what they do. And until he laid that out, ever since he laid it out for me, I said, damn, now I see like when women is arguing, man, shit still be hurting sometimes. When they arguing, when they got something to say, or it's a disagreement, they try to, sign language you up, hit you with the shame, or you must, hate your moms, or you ashamed of being black. They hit you with the insult, you a little dick. They try to make you feel guilty about something, or they have a strong, entitled need to be right. Like they gotta be right, gotta get the last word. You gotta be wrong and the one to apologize. And until he laid that out, like it's like flashback as kids, my own moms, shit with my sister, ex-girlfriends, people who have co-workers, encounters that I had, or even watching other men have encounters with women, and I see this play out like, oh shit, she's shaming him, she guilting him, she's insulting, she gotta be right. And I'm only bringing that up to say, when you're watching the podcast, she's sitting up there with Bakari Sellers, all these ex-CNN people. They're talking about Stephen A. and him attacking Jasmine Crockett, and he need to be canceled. He got little dick energy, and he hate himself. We should boycott his podcast, and all this shit just because he pointed out some stuff in my opinion. Because again, if you just tuning in and you never watched my content before, I'm not a Democrat and I'm not a Republican. So you're never going to hear me over here like, Trump, yeah, we love Trump and woo, woo, woo. And you're never going to hear me over here like, yeah, the Democrats, we love them, because I could give a fuck about neither. I'm right is right, wrong is wrong, and I call a spade a spade. It just is what it is. So when I listen to the Stephen A. little spill on Jasmine, Crockett, sitting there saying like, he didn't call her ugly. He didn't say she got all them fucking eyelashes on, that bum ass weave in her head. He didn't say she was uneducated. He didn't say that she at the wall. He didn't say any of those things. He just said, she's smart, she's articulate. She could choose a better way to communicate and get the job done for her constituents. Pretty much. And you got people like, she out here risking her life for us. She had to get size for a bulletproof vest. And whose fault is that? We asked her to join Congress, sit at the senator's seat, and you want to sit at the table. And this is the same thing while I was talking about Project 25. Project 25, Project 25. Everybody was fake, what's the word? Fear-mongering, right? Project 25. And if it comes to fruition, it comes to fruition. What the fuck are you going to do? You still going to kill black folks? You still going to have the mentality to kill niggas and a man for themselves in this land we be gunning? Or you going to reach across the aisle and link up with your brother? Same thing with them. Nobody told you to join Congress. Nobody told you to get there. I'm not saying that her life should be threatened. I hope she ain't being threatened at all. But she's not risking her life for us. She's a politician. They get paid to do what they do. And a lot of them is fucking crooks and corrupt. That's the reality. She ain't no fucking savior, no saint. Not to me. If you view it that way, you probably real Democrat. You probably real stuck on that. And that's fine. Because I realized that the angry mob, this is the last thing before we get off this topic. This is why witches, if they ever was true, right? Or innocent people, even guilty people. But more so, innocent people. This is why they got, put on a stake. Got the nails put through their arms and their hands, their feet. Got set on fire, got executed. Because the angry mob. People can't think for themselves. And when you can't think from an unbiased perspective, and I'll never get up here and be like, yo, I could rock with the Bakaris, or, certain people that's study political science, you was on a debate team, what's the name, Lamar, what's his name, Lamar Hill, whatever, that's on the Joe Budden's podcast, and I read his book when I was locked up. Certain individuals who I deem smart, intelligent, and very articulate with their speech and their communication. I got a GED right after completing ABE, and I do know how to count 1, 2, 3. So I never would be like, yeah, I could match wits with the best of them, sit up there, go back and forth about political science, what's this, what's that, because I can't, and I probably can't, right? I know why my strengths are, I know what my weaknesses are, and I won't lie to myself. You know what I'm not, like, you can lie to yourself, but you can't lie to me, and you can fool some of the people some of the time. I'm not going to fool myself. But definitely not stupid. By a long shot. Definitely got common sense, and I come from a place of, I look with a critical eye to both parties. And I say, damn, well, who's right in this sense? What sounds right? What's logical? And everybody that's mad at Stephen A. Smith, to me, he didn't say not one thing wrong. Could he got on the bat line like, listen, Jasmine, I think you'll be better off serving the people by doing X, Y, Z. Yeah, he could have did that. He could have most definitely did that. But he got a platform. He got his own show. He in these YouTube streets. His shit's spinning all over these YouTube platforms or these social media platforms. And he addressed on his show. So fucking what? Get over it. Pull your motherfucking boxes out your ass. Pull your panties out your ass. Get over it. But address what he's saying. Not with the insult and the, and the sign language. Address what he's saying. That's what I would say. But we off that. We also in the end game because I got a chick named Superhead. She gives Superhead. Just moved in the building, even gave you Superhead. I got big guns that spit super lead. So play Superman, end up super dead. Call me Kid, so the kid from the locks. Gotta twist your moms out and do a bit with your pops. We was in jail, you probably won't get no mail. And if you pumped on my block, you won't get no sales. Nigga said, I got a chick named Superhead. She gives Superhead. Just moved in the building, even gave it Superhead. And who are we talking about? We talking about Superhead, a.k.a. Stephen Corinne, right? And she's spinning in the clip once again. And she recently had, let me see if I saved the clip. Stephen Corinne. Did I say if I'm talking about being a whore?
So yo, I mean,
where's Stephen Corinne at? Talking about being a whore. All right, well, we don't got the clip. Maybe we do got the clip, but it's on somebody else's page.
So Corinne Steffens, Superhead, she went on.
That's crazy to have that type of nigga.
Like, that's
right.
crazy.
So
shit crazy.
she went on actually one of my friends' podcasts. And
So she just gonna talk about it, so I could just talk about it too. I thought it was the clip of her actually talking about, you know what I'm saying, her and her stance on basically saying that men is kind of taught to go with to go with the version, try to get the version, try to get the maintained girl, like it's looked down on, getting the whore to be your wife, and obviously it's saying you can't make a whore into a housewife, right? Even though Nas and Nature, not Nas and Nature, Nas and what's the nigga? The days come and night gone. The nigga that sing that, what's homie name? The nigga that sing that song, right? With him and Nas. He like, it takes a certain type of nigga to do that. Everybody can't make a hoe into a housewife. It takes a certain type of nigga to pimp her. But anyway, she basically like, yo, when you wake up, you're gonna get the sloppy toppy. She gonna hang from the ceiling from you. She never gonna be, turn you down and woo 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 and ah. And a lot of people had stuff to say about it. Having a name like Paul Pierce just said, having a name like Superhead is super crazy. She wrote a book about her fiascos, and I read her book while I was locked up. With the Lil Waynes, who didn't she mention? Shaq, you know what I mean? Fucking Ja Rule, Irv Gotti, like, hey, she was for the streets. and she's for the streets. And I'm saying that plainly, and I'm saying it being for real. It's well documented. I'm not making up nothing on her. I'm not putting out no I'm not making up this shit on her. This is stuff that's well documented. And you know, she had her escapades, like she was, you know, dealing with Coogee Rap. That's her baby father, I believe. You know, say he was beating her, etc. She was touched as a child, which is unfortunate. A lot of people are like that, boys and girls, unfortunately, right? But anyway, she made her way into being an industry chick, a roundaway girl, or an industry, you know, chick. And years later, she started messing with the dude from Family Matters. Can't think of his name, right? Supposed to had HIV. So now she out, you know, she had a couple of videos. She got her own podcast. You know, it's talking about little dick energy, etc. Girls don't like that. Women don't like it. They want to be pleased, which I totally understand, right? And I'm here for all the pleasing. Now it's another viral clip of her, again, as I stated, you know, saying, you know, men shouldn't be ashamed, basically. There's nothing wrong with wifing up somebody that's seasoned, right? And these are, she gave like the reasons why. And she not wrong, but she not right. She not wrong in the sense of, yeah, men, most men anyway, they don't mind having a woman that's a freak in the sheets. They say you want a lady in the street in the streets, a freak in the sheets. So yeah, you want your woman to do backflips and, you know, goggle and do all that, you know what I mean? Suck it and not, ATM, ass to mouth, mouth to ass, you know, some camera on shit. You want all of those things, but you want it for you. You don't want it for the world. You don't want other men and other, you know, people knowing about this. You shouldn't. You want it for you. So it's not that you want to marry a virgin. I mean, chances of that is slim as a motherfucker nowadays. Chances of you getting a virgin, I mean, you're going to probably have to go real, real young. You know what I mean? And that's frowned looked upon, you know what I mean? But you're going to be hard pressed to find that as a guy, right? Even maybe as a woman. And in today's times that we live in, everybody's so, you know, sexually liberated. But you want it for you as a man. You want, you know, you want things to be done in the bedroom just for you, for your pleasure, for you and your spouse's pleasure. You don't want, you know, 10 other niggas had your lady and then you got her. And the same thing she was doing to those other 10 people, you getting, so she's seasoned. Now, women in your mind, you may justify and be like, nah, this is the thing. This is what we want. This is how we rock and roll, and this is what you should want too. You can tell men what they want, but men been telling women what we want for a long time. Just ain't listening. Just ain't listening at all. You're not listening. So, you know, there's that. Then the clip that I seen that had her talking about Lil Wayne. I think she was on Vlad. So even though she's saying all this stuff about, you know, the whore gonna keep you satisfied, they're gonna be faithful, they're gonna be loyal. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're gonna cheat, do you dirty, you know, do the same thing they doing to you to somebody else that excites them and, you know, get that little tingly feeling. And she's spinning on a clip talking about she just can't leave Lil Wayne alone. Now, I'm sure they ain't dealing with each other now. I'm sure Lil Wayne got married, even I think he did get divorced from the white girl or whatever. But fellas, ladies, gentlemen, and lowlife, it's with our grandest pleasure to present to you Slick Rick the Ruler and MC Ricky D. Like, it's low level shit. Don't run around and be a whore. You could be a hoe, 304, and be for the streets. But just know that people care about your past. Just like somebody that breaks the law, like myself. I broke the law. You hate the law, nigga, break it. I don't care, but when you get caught, remember that. I don't care. When you get caught, people are not going to care. And when you get out, you're still going to be held in remembrance. Let's put it that way. Of your past transgressions. Nobody escapes from your past. Now, you don't have to be that same individual no more, but you can't outrun it, especially when it's on the internet. If you was a sex worker, porn star, you know, fans only, stuff like that, all those things come back to haunt you. I would tell my little cousins, my little nieces, etc., keep your personal business private. If you're gonna be a hoe behind closed doors. Don't be letting dudes take videos of you giving fellatio and busting it open from the back. Don't be online thinking you being cute, doing some nasty shit that people shouldn't be seeing. Then in the future, when somebody say, "Damn, I like you. I met you. You kept your past from me. Now that you exposed me to your past, yeah, I still like you, but can't really get over that part." Then they're gonna try to shame you. Oh, you insecure. Who cares? I got a past, and we all got passes, etc. But you got to be mindful. Men don't want that. You can rationalize it. You can internalize it. You can flip it and bounce it in your own head as a woman all you want. But a man don't want no woman that's known to be loose with a whole bunch of people. Yeah, sexually you may go and get in there rocks off and booty clapping sounds, all that shit is good. Mutar sound like, what's the word? It's all good. But in a relationship, like now when we partnering up and we saying vows or we rocking with each other, men don't want that. And I don't know why women don't grasp this concept. Even though you'll hear women be like, yeah, it's community dick, etc. And men and women are not the same, even though they try to make us the same all they want. We have a lot of similarities because we're human. You know what I mean? But we don't be thinking the same. We don't react the same. Certain things, it's just not the same. Because the Most High didn't make us that way. That's why we're compatible. So when you hear Stephen Corinne, a.k.a. Superhead, talking about, yeah, fellas, they tricked y'all and thinking that you needed a virgin. You should just wife up a hoe or a whore. They more seasoned. Yeah, outside of sex, then what else is there? All right, the sex is the bomb, but is there anything else? Do you have anything else to offer? A lot of times, don't. And if I'm not mistaken, she's single now. I'm not saying that as a jab or a get at her, but it just is what it is. Single. Living that single life. Single ladies, clap your hands. Like, clap your fucking hands. Let's talk about Jim Jones verse Yayo. Tony Yayo, oh nigga to you. Know what this is. One shot, one kill. What's the deal? We in the end game because Jim Jones has some choice words for Tony Yayo after Tony Yayo, I think, was either on Drink Champs or another podcast. First talking about Memphis Bleak and really making a comparison of, Hove and 50 Cent, right? And I'll be honest, these is rich nigga problems. Like, who's your mans in them? Like, dawg, that's my mans in them. That's my mans in them. You know what I mean? So, whatever they doing, I'm doing. Because, dawg, that's my mans in them. So, what you see me doing, my dogs in them is doing. Because that's my mans in them. Like, that's my mans, my nigga. Like, these Rockefeller niggas, they taking over the whole industry. And these is rich nigga problems. Like, a lot of us would, wish to have 50 Cent as a right-hand man or a nigga that we knew we was coming up, in our ignorant days doing the most, robbing, killing, stealing, doing shit, right? Robbing to eat. Or Hove, who knew he would have been, 100 million up or almost a billy, right? Well, Bleak and Tony Yayo are in this position. And even Jay-Z said, Bleak ain't got to rap no more. He could sit back and chill because he's in my will somewhere. So he could just be good. Even though he said the same thing about Beanie Siegel, like, if my life was a movie, Seek gonna be the sequel. Knocking on your door and we peeping through the peephole. Don't be scared, we actually, like, that didn't pan out the way. And so anyway, Tony Yayo was not really taking shots because he like, yo, Memphis is a good person. Jay-Z, woo, But he ain't looking out for them like Fifth was looking out for us. So he made the comparisons between the two bosses. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who's right, who's wrong in that sense. Can't say we know that Hov paid the taxes for, Lil Wayne, did some other things for people, but it is some rumblings and some whispers. Watch of him doing people dirty, of him doing underhand shit, of him doing grimy Brooklyn greaseball shit. Let's keep it a buck. We say Brooklyn niggas is the craziest. Uptown niggas is the craziest. Blue Round niggas is the, like, we know what the saying is. Brooklyn is grimy. And when I was locked up, I ran with a lot of Brooklyn niggas. Even though I was from Harlem. A lot of my, people I cooked with, did a lot of shit with was Brooklyn niggas for whatever reason or whatever it was. Maybe because I, had the robberies on my jacket and I was taking shit from people, at one point in time. Maybe that's why the connection was there. Niggas that took from people, you have that in common, right? But anyway, you hear the rumblings of grimy shit, underhand shit, going behind niggas' backs and making deals and doing shit. Not to say that 50 Cent don't have that, but you don't really hear, that too much. Obviously, he ain't really rocking with Lloyd Banks no more. Young Buck and them fell out, or got tape recorded them, etc. But Memphis took exception to that, and while he was on the Jim Jones podcast, which is Artist to Artist, he Jim Jones, like, niggas a whole crackhead, nigga need his teeth brushed, and for every pimple on your face, I got $1,000. I got it. I got it again. These is rich niggas' problems. All of them, got more money than me, right? But I'm talking about it in the sense of, who is the better businessman, as far as Jay or Hov, or who got more dirt in their jacket, or what's perceived to be more dirt in their jacket. And then Memphis, like, I don't need Hov to go on tour. I'm eating halal all on my own. I know he just dropped the album. I know he got the restaurant. He did say that Hov didn't come to the restaurant. When he mentioned it, he said Hov laughed. Now maybe Hov busy. He running 1,000,001 countries, trying to get the casino, trying to do this, trying to do that. Obviously, 50 Cent stay on tour. He had the Vegas residency. You know what I mean? When I was out in Vegas a few years ago, it's the last time I went. He was out there on, doing the shit. So Yayo, like, I just came back off tour. I do X, Y, Z. I'm good. Like, I'm good. It's not the same. I don't know. I just find it interesting that all these rappers or ex-rappers, because, I'll say ex-rappers for some because, even though Memphis just put out an album and I didn't listen to it. Rap is not consumed in the same way that it once was. That's just is what it is, right? We consume it on a whole different level than what we used to. So I haven't listened to a Memphis Bleak, album. I can't even tell you when, even though he just dropped the album. Yayo, I don't know if he dropped no new music or anything like that, but the point is, he like, I just came off tour, I'm good. I don't need, and they both saying they don't need, and they both good. They friends, they got friends in high places. But what's crazy is that these rappers and ex-rappers, they on these podcasts, they talk crazy to each other, and it's all just a ruse, if you ask me. It's all just a ruse to keep the algorithm spinning, to keep us talking about it, to keep the channels popping, to keep the engagement. Ain't no beef gonna pop on, which I hope not anyway. They both grown. But Tony Ayo responded back with the Max B, which Max B, shout outs to Max. He coming home next month, allegedly. I know he kept being coming home, but then he don't come home. So we don't know when he coming home. I definitely hope that he get out soon. AKA Max B, AKA Charlie Rambo, right? And I know Max, you know what I'm saying? Before the rap shit, and even after the rap shit. But anyway, he put up a post on his Instagram with Max like, yo, when they go across the street this way, I go across the street this way. I don't do what these niggas do, like getting back at him because this is another topic. We in the end game still speaking about Jim Jones. He definitely know how to stay in the algorithm. But I think on the Artist to Artist podcast or whatever podcast it was, Let's Rap About It with him, Mano, Fabulous, and Dave East. Shout outs to all of them, right? And I think Mano was asking him about, could it ever be peace or forgiveness between him and Max B? And pretty much he just was like, nah, I never would probably fuck with him again, and woo, and right? And that's his prerogative because God forgives and I don't, right? On some Rick Ross shit. Who cares if he forgives him or not? That's their business, that's their history. being how he brought up Max, and Max might be coming home, and you know, I'm from the era again. I know Max before rap and shit, you know, etc. Do we think he going? Do we think he going? You know, hit the mountaintop again of the rap game? You know, whether he gets signed to, you know, Drake, Cam may sign him, you know, whoever else, 50 Cent may sign him. Like, who knows, right? Whoever he end up go sign to, French Montana, obviously. Shout out to Mazar, you know, or whoever he signs to, because me and my homie was talking about rappers who went to prison and how they came home, and it didn't really, it doesn't really pan out for a lot of rappers that come home from doing a bid. Now you got Pac, obviously he's probably at the top. Did a bid, when I mean bid, did like a year, some change. Obviously Pac did, I think, a year and a half. Came home, fuck your clique, and the clique you claim, West Side, when we ride, come equipped with game, like came out, you know, Hail Mary, came out with classic albums after he was locked up. You gotta say Casanova, first bid, came out, then had some success. Who's the other guy from Brooklyn? You know, the hot boy nigga, did your little time, came home, no music. Foreign Fabio, some success, right? Lil Wayne did the stretch on Rikers Island, came home, had some hit songs, but maybe not just by itself. Obviously with Nicki Minaj and Drake on the track or whatever, or feature, not by itself. Prison, it knocks you down, it hurts you. You know what I mean? It takes away your momentum, it stops everything. And even though, you know, Tory Lanez, I think he put out an album since he's been locked up. People have, you know, rapped over the phone, Shine, came on. You know, we were just talking about a lot of artists that done time, come home, do they make it back to be at the top of the rap game, or even at the height of their careers where they was once at. You know what I'm saying? Will Max B break that trend? I hope so. I hope it's in the cards for Max to, you know, wave on these motherfuckers and start the wave and do what he do. You know what I mean? Doing all that time. You know what I mean? But I don't know. The fan base for him is my age bracket. A lot of people don't, you know, may not know who Max is. You know, Hov shouted him out, you know, got the wave, Max. Few little different, you know, shout outs and different songs throughout his course of being locked up. You know, obviously the feud with Jim Jones, and, you know, and that's how we started on this topic, because it's not for me to say is he right or wrong for giving Max B. I could give a fuck if he forgive him or not. It's not my business. But you did take the picture with his son. So, you know, even though kids ain't got nothing to do with it, but if you ain't gonna rock with him, then what's the picture for? Maybe he was on the spot, you know, when that happened. But do you think Max B gonna come home and take the game by storm? Do you think he got what it takes musically? Do you think the style is predated and is old now? Because again, the way we consume music is a little different. So even if he come home, get signed to the biggest label, whether it's Drake label, 50 Cent, you know, French Montana, whoever you could think of, that's a big label, right? A big media, you know, circuit where they can push all this shit. All he gotta do is rap and just rap. Do you think he gonna take off? Oh, Remy Ma's another one. She came home, she jumped on the All the Way Up song. She had the Sheeta little battle with Nicki Minaj. You know, Nicki Minaj, yeah, what's Nicki Minaj? Not Cardi B, Nicki Minaj. But rap career never really took back off. So what we're talking about, even though we started with Jim Jones and his forgiveness of Max B, and I could care less, we're talking about rappers that had traction, they was doing their thing, they got locked up, then they came home, and their careers never resumed or got back to where it was at. Never really made no more hit records. So I forgot about Remy Ma. She was hot on a few songs, not really no songs by herself. You know what I mean? And didn't really stay at the jump off, which brings me to, before we get off this topic, and then I'm out of here, because I ain't going to be on mad long today. Cameron on the Breakfast Club. I did a reaction to that. Go look at my video, do you need horsepower or you don't need horsepower for your manhood, right? He was saying sales boosted up. But another thing in addition to him saying Mace need his money is pretty much they was asking him about an album. And he like, you know, he could come out with an album. He liked doing the freestyles, etc. But he was like, you know, a good album. And he's right, because we consume music differently now. he like a good solid album, maybe last 2 weeks. I want to say that he said. I don't want to misquote him, but even if it's 2 months, a month and a half, that's all you really get. If your album is fire, then after that it's gone. Shit like it never even existed. We're not talking about your raps no more. We're not rocking with you. Dominican Pineapple, we not checking in for you. Cam is a vet. He's been around for a long time. I agree. Who dropped fire albums, or what you think is a fire album this year? Say Ghost dropped a fire album, or Raekwon, Eclipse, Cardi B. People saying her album is fire. Even Bria, right? The chick who she was beefing with. They say her album is fire. She dropped a fire album. It's here today and gone tomorrow. Cake, 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 cake. 500,000, I got a pound cake. Like, your album is here and then it's gone. Do you think that old rap flow was singing and sounding like the Cookie Monster? And I'm being funny because he don't sound like the Cookie Monster. That was a 50 Cent reference talking about Ja Rule, singing to the hoes like the Cookie Monster. But Max Bigger Rail, right? He say he took Pac style and Big style and mixed it together. And although that might be a little debatable, a little questionable, I definitely don't think he's as lyrical as Big, but definitely had some of the melodies and, can hit him with the Pac flow, if you will, for some of his songs. And I fucks with Max, right? Musically and, in the real life, you know what I mean? That's why I hope he get all the success that he's deserving of. Do I think it? I think maybe. If I had to give a scale 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, I'm going to say like a strong 6.5. Maybe because like people from my era will probably buy into it and see what's new. See the music first. Soak up the vibes. Last thing before we get off the Max B topics, I hope he don't come back to Harlem. Hope he goes somewhere else. You know what I mean? Don't come back to Harlem. Ain't shit in Harlem. You know what I mean? Maybe start fresh somewhere else. Lastly, because every time I do the Friday show, or sometimes even Saturday show, and I give out my picks and predictions for Sunday Funday. Tomorrow is Thursday Night Football. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals getting 5.5. Division rivals. I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh. I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh to win the game. Cincinnati to cover. I take Cincinnati with the 5.5 to cover the spread. Pittsburgh to win the game. Let me know who you like. Let me know who you taking. Let me know what you think I'm bugging out at. Basketball season, one more week. Next Wednesday, we have a full slate of games. But I think the season opener is Tuesday with the Lakers and Golden State and OKC and somebody else. So we will be jumping into basketball full throttle. You know what I mean? Giving out my picks every day, the locks, the play of the day, etc. But y'all know who it is. It's your guy, Popovich. Y'all was just tuned in. Popovich TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic. That feeling back up in here. One more again. Yeah, kid. Be safe out there, guys.